Greetings everyone. Here is introducing Audio IT, a transformational approach towards improving literacy among young learners. The next few slides will be sharing with you the main objectives of this innovation, the background, and most importantly, we will look at some of the important details of the innovation. For your information, especially for Audio IT, there are three phases that has been outlined. The first phase is where we are at the moment, which is the development of the framework for Audio IT. After the presentation of the framework, and once that has been developed, the framework will be submitted for a copyright, and the registration of Audio IT, as well as the engagement of students, homemakers, or others who wish to be part of the audio team will be completed. In the final phase, there will be an evaluation done of Audio IT, and this will be then translated into a fully fledged online-based website or service with even international engagements. So ladies and gentlemen, let us get into how Audio IT works. The first thing that happens in the process of Audio IT is we receive text or materials that is in written form. So these materials, they come from children or young learners who have actually written their own text creatively. We also receive readily available books in the form of children's stories, any short poems, novels, or any other materials that are in print. The next step is then to perform the recording, and this recording task is assigned to the engaged members of the company. So for example, if we have got students who are engaged with this, one particular student, or depending on how many are needed in the assignment, will be assigned to that particular recording task. The final process would be the process of reading aloud recording, whereby it will begin, and once it is finalized, the link is later sent to the client back. This three process is dedicated to Audio IT with hopes that the learners will actually receive an audio version of the text of the material that they have actually submitted. Audio IT is a novel innovation that allows one to translate their audio works or written text into readily available material, which is in audio form. I do believe that this is a great opportunity, especially for parents, to inculcate creativity in their children in order to write creatively and have that written piece translated into an audio form, which can then be used to listen, especially during their journeys, during drop-offs, school visits, or dropping off their kids even at some relatives' homes. As we know, some parents are busy and they do not actually have ample amount of time to be doing reading aloud sessions with their children at home. So this would be a great alternative for parents to actually spend more time with their children or their young learners more effectively. Audio IT is also a great platform to allow young learners to read out expressions, so their stories with expressions, which is great for language and vocabulary enhancement, especially for kids who are of the age of 7 to 9 years old. This is where most of their creativity and imaginary ideas stem from. And to have their creative piece of writing be translated into an audio version with the accurate expressions would be a great achievement for these young learners. It is a great mechanism also for parents to inculcate reading as a positive habit in their children, especially in today's time where children are often so occupied with lots of activities outside their classrooms and homes. And to have a platform where the kids get an alternative, especially to audio versions of these stories, would be great. Last but not the least, Audio 8 also allows learners to read material within their attention span without losing focus on their reading, like what typically happens in the traditional reading. As we are aware, once children read books, it takes them a long time to finish a particular material. But audiobooks are a good way in which they can pause and they can continue listening to the story in a more imaginative manner. This slide depicts the conceptual framework that was developed for Audio 8. Audio 8 basically stems from the audiolingual method, which emphasizes a lot on oral comprehension. Basically, for young learners, learning or enhancing their language capabilities through audiolingual or through audio recordings in this study or in this innovation would be one of the main objectives. That would then be translated into improved literacy through vocabulary and grammatical enhancement. Within this process, there are two SDG goals that are aimed to be achieved. One is SDG Goal 4, which is the quality education, whereby learners get to enhance their language through texts that they are familiar with, through repetition, and the drilling of similar vocabulary, grammatical structure, and syntax, which places emphasis on these audio recordings being listened to multiple times simply because they are able to, as it is in an audio form, instead of the traditional reading that has to be done. The second SDG goal that is an outcome of this innovation is decent work and economic growth, SDG goal 7. This actually provides a great opportunity for lower income earning groups, single mothers, stay-at-home mothers, and even students to contribute to the country's economic progression. As these group of community of people will be engaged into the Audio 8 team, they will also be paid a remuneration or a basic fee for each recording that is done. This can also help them to make side incomes and even more specifically to improve their confidence that they are able to contribute to the country's economic progression despite having to work from home. Audio 8 was created as an easy option for parents who often have limited time to spend with their children. As mentioned earlier, alternatively, they can opt to listen to these audio recordings of their children's favorite books or self-written books and other forms of materials together while traveling in the car, even during drop-offs. Audio 8 is easy, it is relevant, and it is highly relatable, especially for kids or learners who learn best via the auditory method. It also encourages them to boost their creativity by recording their very own work. When they hear their recordings being sent to them, they get excited and they're even more motivated to produce better work in the future. And this enhances the use of language indirectly. Recordings are also completed by trained committee members who wish to include their individual created expression and mannerisms. It is hoped that Audio 8 can achieve its outlined objectives and goals. One of the future plans of Audio 8 or the innovation itself is to have a secured grant, and this will allow the team members to work on setting up Audio 8 itself. The second achievement that is planned to be achieved in the future is Engaging the language center students themselves who wish to be part of the team and to be in charge of these recordings. This will not only give them a good experience, but they can also earn extra income, which can then indirectly help them to improve their living. For individually written books submitted by the learners and the children, a reasonable amount of money is paid to the students who would perform these recordings, and indirectly it gets to boost confidence of the kids or the young learners who submit their written text or materials. Last but not the least, Audio 8 aims at presenting data at conferences and to have achieved at least one Scopus publication and two international conferences next year, inclusive of the copyright achievement as well as the development of the Audio 8 company itself. That would be the end of this video, and I hope that Audio 8 can bring lots of young learners and young children's dreams turn into reality. Thank you.